I don't give a shit.
You don't find it a great
I really don't care
treasure
about politics.
trove of
Some people
material?
do. I don't. I think the system is corrupt. Every time I'm walking on the street, somebody's like, hey, vote for so-and-so. I'm like, it's all corrupt. Anarchy is the only way we're going to change anything. Violence. Kill a politician. That's the only way you can change shit.
What?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you're joking.
No.
Are you serious?
Yeah, voting is not going to make a difference. It has never. Not in 100 years.
So what would you like to see?
I'd like to see some politicians start getting murdered and reform this government.
Oh my
into one that's
God.
not corrupted. I'd like to get business out of government, and they're not going to do it. So the only way to do that is start killing people.
Isn't that exactly what
Look
you
around the
don't
world.
want?
How has anything changed around the world? How has any regime change happen around the world? Violence. That's the only way. You think people in Arab countries are that much different than us?
Yeah.
Violence. That's the only way you depose a system that doesn't represent the people anymore.
I mean, I think the wonderful thing about the United States is that we can vote, and you do change
Your
administration.
vote doesn't go anywhere. Your vote doesn't do anything.
Yes, it does.
You can now be arrested and never tried if they say you're a terrorist. Never tried in your life. Just arrested and held forever. Who voted for that?
So shoot them all.
No, not shoot them all. Start shooting them until they get business out of politics and they start representing who we are instead of their money interests. Yeah, violence. That's the only way shit changes, man.
Okay.
Look at history. Tell me when a regime has changed with voting. I mean, I know.
I mean,
I'm putting you on the spot.
I'm not trying.
That's not fair because you haven't studied this stuff.
Well, no, I'm not trying to, murder politicians. I'm not trying to do what I don't like that others do that I would like to change, so I will shoot somebody because I'm pissed off that they're shooting somebody else.
Yeah.
It's not the way that I think, but that's fine. We think differently.
I think even if you don't want to shoot somebody, don't vote. Voting is you complicitly saying, I support this system, and I don't support it anymore. I don't. We're killing people in Yemen. We're murdering families in Yemen that aren't associated with any sort of terrorist thing. It was just an oopsie when we kill a wedding party. And Obama, the fucking hope change guy, just refused to comment on it. That's cool. Do what you want. It's not going to change. Your voting is not going to change that. I know one way that it'll change. I can look at history and tell you this is the way things change. Look at whenever a black guy gets shot. It's like, oh, it's bad. If this is a riot, no one comments on it. Those things go under the radar. When there's a riot in Baltimore, it's like, hold on, we've got to rethink the system here in Baltimore because people went crazy. That's just in history, here and elsewhere. That's the only way shit changes.
All right, we'll agree to disagree on that.
And I guarantee the only...
Hello, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Wadash. Double honors to the apostles of GMS who teach and rule well. Salutations to your brothers in the highways and byways. Salutations also goes out to your brothers and few sisters that tune in to listen and learn. I'm the brother Malak from the Diligent Soldier Camp here in Boston, Mass. As always, I pray this lesson be edifying to the elect. All right, the name of this one is The Spirit of Sedition is Rising. The Spirit of Sedition is Rising. And a quick search or look up on that word sedition. Okay. It goes into conduct or speech inciting people to rebel against the authority of a state or monarch. Okay, that's what sedition is. As far as a quick phone diction, I think is in my phone dictionary. You kind of highlight the word and you click on look up, and those are the definitions you get there. Agitation is also a part of it. Okay, it's a noun, but it's also a part of the synonymous with this word sedition. Incitement to riot, rebellion, agitation, rebel, rousing, subversion, civil disorder, insubordination, disobedience, resistance, defiance, right? And indeed, this is the spirit that this man is in. You could tell even by his the way he carries himself verbally, man. Okay, he doesn't give a damn anymore. So he's totally over it. It's gotten to a point where he sees no other solution because he sees now clearly that the system's that are put in place to so-called fight against the system, or the oligarchs, the elites that rule, are not working, are controlled mechanisms, you know. So you find yourself in the same vicious cycle, as not only here domestically but abroad. You know, politicians and governments, the way they flow abroad also, man. Okay, so this man is like, man, you know, I want to see some heads rolling. And maybe that will entice everyone else to do better, you know, by taking out corruption, basically, which reminds me of, you know, the way that the Lord set it up, where how Israel was supposed to get rid of sin and wickedness from among us, right? By basically putting to death those that broke the commandments, okay? And what that would do is that it would alert everybody, and everyone will fear and not want or think twice about committing any such act that will, you know, could result into to their death, okay? And I think it's something that it will work. You know what I mean? It will definitely work. It wouldn't make anything better because you know, it is written that these things are gonna happen, okay? That sedition among men was going to take place, and rebellion and violence was going to spread throughout, you know, the city, okay, the city called Babylon. And that's what he's, you know, basically saying, you know, by mentioning revolution and whatnot, because that's the only thing that really makes, or you could see some type of change in reality. People that vote, that participate to vote, are psychotic, you know, or insane, basically, because the very definition of insane is basically to do the same thing over and over again and expect some type of change to occur eventually. And that's exactly what voters do. They go and vote every 4 years, believing that they're fully convinced that their vote actually makes a difference, counts for something, when in reality these kings and princes are selected, not elected, okay? And the same thing seems to be going on. You know, there's an agenda that's attempted to be hidden in the background, but those with the eyes to see, you know, to think critically, such as this man right here, and many other Babylonians, might I add, feel this way. They could see through the bullshit, you know, and, you know, sometimes the worst people are the ones that can't see things happening. Okay, as a matter of fact, the scripture says, where there is no vision, the people perish. You know, the vast majority of Babylonians are heading towards utter death, man. Okay, because after the bombing of Iran by President Trump, you had a lot of people online very proudly proclaiming victory over these people, right? And without really thinking or betting an eye on the people that are allied to those people, you know, and even the fact that they're saying that it's been said by President Trump that you know, their nuclear capabilities completely obliterated by the attack that took place a few days ago by Babylon. In reality, that's not accurate. It's what Palestinian government personnel are saying, and even people here in Babylon are like, that's not entirely true, you know. But, you know, what does the scripture say? Pride goes before destruction, okay? This sense of pride is going to be put out really, really fast in the very near future of these Babylonians, man. And it's going to be a sight to see, you know. And yeah, man, the fuel behind that is going to be men like this, you know, that, you know, this guy is set up to by the Lord, first and foremost, to speak this way, right? Because there's a lot of Babylonians that feel the same way and also say the same things among their circles, right? Their inner circles. But, you know, this guy happens to have the opportunity to go on some type of network and utter these things, you know, utter what other people like him are thinking and the way they are feeling, man. Okay, let's get into some scriptures and close out. I'm not gonna make this too long. Proverbs 29:2. It says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. You know, ever since this man has been coming out of the Caucasus Mountain, Esau, the so-called white man, the devil that the Bible speaks of, nothing but wickedness has multiplied and have taken hold on, you know, the rest of the planet, man. You know, this man was given through the promise, through the blessing, Salakia, was promised the fatness of the earth. And we know he heaps to himself all manner of people. This guy doesn't mind his business. He's everywhere setting up puppets to carry on his or push on his narrative everywhere. Okay, and not to mention the fact that he was also blessed with the sword. And the scriptures clearly tell you that he does not, roughly paraphrasing, he doesn't have it vainly. Something along those lines. I forget how it goes, but he doesn't carry it in vain, man. Okay, he's going to use that, whether it be through weapons, actual weapons, right? Because that's what a sword is, a weapon. So it also could be used to divide, right? To hew. We also know that it's goes into his drugs and the way he administrates it, or Salakia, administers it. You know, his Maxines, okay, are part of that sword. His as I said earlier, his weapons, right, like his ICBMs, his missiles and whatnot. But his biggest weapon of all has always been his speech, man. His talking points, his philosophy, man, his wine, in other words, man. And the scriptures clearly tell you, let's just get it right quick. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51:7. It says, Babylon has been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine. Therefore, the nations are mad, man. You know, they're out of their wits. They're out of their mind. And pissed off on top of all that. You know, this man had all these nations take up on his philosophy, right? Which is what wine represents here in the scriptures, man. And now the end result of that, which is chaos in their nation, in these different nations, mourning of the people, sedition of the people, protests, you know, resistance, you know, is the result of all these of those philosophies, just taking these different countries, nations astray, from their natural source of statutes and rules and amongst themselves, their own philosophies. Esau's just been spreading like cancer, man. And like I said, ever since he came out those Caucasus Mountains, man, and taking up authoritative power and positions in the world, has been nothing but death, right, and rape, and all sorts of other wickedness and evil, man. All right, this is the book of 2nd Ezra, 15 and 16. It says, "For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor their princes, and the course of their actions shall be in their power," man. And this is the beginning of that, man. Okay, with this man expressing himself this way, being able to be the voice to a lot of people that feel this way, it's gonna fuel them up. It's gonna rouse people up, man, to elevate to that next phase, if you will, of the hatred against so-called immigrants, these rules and that these politicians make that oppress their own people, control their own people, and these Edomites are over it, man. They're tired of it. They're sick of it. Okay, and they see now that the only way to really make things better, bring things back to normal, is by exacting violence, man. Knocking off some heads, so it can make space for for others that are supposedly going to do better. But it's like you guys are all Edomites, man. You are the wicked. Okay, Satan can't cancel out. I was getting that confused. Salakia, never mind. But yeah, man, the division that's among these people is something that, even if one side ceases to exist, right? Like, let's, for example, Trumpito and these people and his followers, if they fall back, it doesn't matter. The other wing, the left wing, whether this is the right wing or left wing, whatever the fuck you want to call it, the other wing is going to also bring wickedness and evil times to the people, man. Esau can't help it, man. This is who he is. This is what makes him, and it's in his makeup and his code, man. The way that the Lord designed him to be, which is to be to have that mentality and that will to enslave humanity, man. To basically have everyone under his rulership, man. Right? This is Ecclesiastes 7:7. It says, "Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and a gift destroys the heart," man. Like I said, man, people are seeing through the bullshit. They're seeing that every 4 years these people talk a good one so you could vote them in, only to vote for them, and they don't come through in their promises. But what they really do is set their own up, their pals, their buddies, and when you go further up that chain, it goes into the realm of just pure wicked Edomites, lusting after after absolute power. Right, not money, because money can't buy absolute power. I mean, it can, but money can't satisfy them completely. They have to have absolute power, which is not even scratching the surface of what real, true power is, which is Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, man. So they're trying to shoot for the Lord, but that they won't be able to even, reach his ankles, man. Okay, because Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai is the creator. These people don't create; they can't create. If they make anything, it's a weapon. Whether it's an actual weapon or babies grown in labs and shit. It's gonna be a weapon some way somehow. Some way somehow this man will taint it even further. I mean, it's wicked to just do that in itself, right? Have baby labs and shit like that, but this man will make it even worse. That's the times that we live in, man, where the spirit of sedition is rising. These people had it with all these things, and they're gonna go for the jugular of these elites, these people that are in positions of power, and they haven't done anything for the people, especially for their own, right? The scriptures tell you in Ecclesiastes, he who is evil to himself, to who shall he do good? And the answer is to no one. And it goes to tell you that he will not enjoy his fruits, something like that. He will not enjoy the things that he makes happen for himself, right? And the scriptures even over here tell you that I was just reading in Ecclesiastes 7:7. This will actually be the last one. It says, surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, right? And a gift destroyeth the heart, because these people, they'll come in and they'll give you a little tax relief or, little things here and there. But at the same time, trillions of dollars in tax dollars that could go towards the people here are sent abroad for wars, man. For missiles, the creation of missiles that fall on children, man, on families, on different homes and stuff, right? Because that's, the collateral damage is basically really the target damage, right? The target for these people, man. I pray that this lesson was edifying. In closing, I want to give all honors and praises to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Baharakak Wadash, double honors to the apostles. Salutations to you brothers in the highways and byways. Salutations also goes out to you brothers and few sisters that tune in to listen and learn. To you all I say Shalom, Ababa Bol, and Kwam Yasharallah.